Dead night on Route 66. I've been a long-haul trucker for almost 15 years now, and I've seen some things that could make your skin crawl. But nothing compared to what I experienced one night in the Mojave Desert back in 2017. That night still haunts me. I was driving a late-night haul on Route 66, headed through the desolate stretch of desert between California and Arizona. I don't remember what I was delivering. Something mundane like appliances, I think. The desert was black, no moon, no stars, just endless night. My truck's headlights were dimmer than they should have been, but I had been putting off getting them fixed. Big mistake. The only light was the faint glow of my headlights, barely cutting through the darkness, and I was fighting to keep my eyes on the road. It felt like I was the only person left in the world. Nothing but silence, and the occasional gust of wind blowing sand across the empty highway. I thought about pulling over, but I needed the money too bad. So I kept driving, telling myself I'd be fine. That's when I saw it. In the distance, barely visible in the dim glow, something was sitting in the middle of the road. I slammed on the brakes, my heart jumping into my throat as the truck screeched to a stop. A car. A beat-up old sedan was parked dead center on the double yellow, hazards blinking. Weird. But that wasn't the only thing off. The passenger door was wide open, like someone had just gotten out in a hurry. I should have driven around it, should have kept going. But instead, I pulled over, my curiosity getting the better of me. I grabbed my flashlight and stepped out of the cab. The desert air was still, unnervingly still. No wind, no sound. Just the quiet click, click, click of the car's hazard lights echoing in the vast emptiness. As I got closer, I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Something was wrong. I peered inside the car, empty, completely empty. Not a soul inside, but the keys were still in the ignition. I shone my flashlight into the back seat. Nothing. The trunk, though, that's where things got weird. The trunk was latched, but not locked. I thought maybe someone was inside. Maybe they needed help. So I went to open it, but it wouldn't budge. The thing felt stuck, jammed like something heavy was pressing against it from the inside. I fumbled with the key and popped it open through the back seat. What I saw made my stomach drop. There were black trash bags stuffed into the trunk, 3 of them tied tightly with rope. My hands started to tremble as I reached for one, but before I could even touch it, a deafening gunshot cracked through the night air. I ducked instinctively, slamming my head on the car roof. Heart pounding, I whipped around, searching the shadows. That's when I saw him. A figure stepped into the dim light of my truck's headlights. A short, husky man, red hair matted with sweat, his face blank and expressionless. He was holding a small shovel in one hand and a rifle in the other. He didn't look angry, just off. His eyes locked with mine for a few long, agonizing seconds. And in that moment, I knew I wasn't dealing with some stranded driver. He was hunting. I bolted back to my truck, jumping in as fast as I could. My hands were shaking so bad I nearly dropped the keys. As I started the engine, I glanced in the mirror. He was still standing there, watching me, shovel in hand. Then slowly, he started to wave. Not in a, hey there, friendly stranger way. His wave was slow, deliberate, like he knew something I didn't. Then he screamed, "Hey, wait, come back!" I wasn't sticking around. I floored the gas, my heart racing as I watched the figure disappear into the blackness behind me. I sped down the highway, but it wasn't over. A few minutes later, headlights appeared in my rearview mirror, closing in fast. The car, the beat-up sedan, it was chasing me. I called 911, but I could barely speak, my voice trembling as I tried to explain what was happening. The car kept tailing me, honking, flashing its lights. The man, or whatever he was, wanted me to stop, but there was no way in hell I was pulling over again. After what felt like an eternity, flashing red and blue lights appeared ahead. The police. The sedan swerved off the road, disappearing into the desert like a ghost. The cops stopped me, but they didn't seem to understand the urgency. I was yelling, frantic, telling them about the guy, the gunshot, the trash bags. But all they did was take a statement. No chase, no urgency. Just a shrug and a promise to check it out. they never called me back. To this day, I wonder what was in those bags. And I wonder if that man is still out there, in the desert, waiting for the next poor soul to stop and check his car.